What's up, kinfolk? Y'all ever heard a story that was so sad, so melancholy, that the only thing that you thought in your mind was to hug the person that was telling it to you? But somehow you just didn't know what to say to them. Well, y'all, this is one of those stories. This is Tay Michelle's story. This sister lost her husband in one of the most violent, tragic ways known to man. But the saddest part about it is nobody can tell her anything, not even the police. So as you listen to the story that I'm about to show you, think about, what if this were you? What would you do in this situation? Y'all check this out.
My husband, Derek, was killed December 23rd, 8 months ago, on his birthday. He was with his family members celebrating his birthday. The last call that I received from him was 5:40. According to the police report, the time of death was 5:45. So he was killed approximately 5 minutes after he tried to call me to come get him. I was not contacted by the authorities. I was not contacted by the family members that he was with. I was contacted around 7:20, 7:30 by my aunt, who was not there. I proceeded to call his phone, and then I proceeded to call his mother's phone several times, and she didn't answer. So a family member and I decided to go to Ackerman, to Choctaw County. The accident took place in French Camp. I went to the hospital there first. Nobody by that name had been brought in. I proceeded to go to the sheriff's department. While I was there, one deputy came in that I began to talk to, and he proceeded to apologize to me several times. The reason for his apology is because he stated that they were not told that he had a spouse, that Derek had a spouse. He was not told that by the family members. Okay, so another one come in. He began to speak, pretty much verified and said the same thing. Law enforcement had not been told that he had a spouse. Okay. The next day, the coroner reaches out to me and say, hey, the mother and brother stated that you all wanted his body to go to Beck Funeral Home. Who told you that? Because I didn't tell you that. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. That's what the mother and brother stated. The mother and brother has no jurisdiction over my husband's body. Okay, we got that understood. After 8 months, I'm just getting reports. After 8 months, this is the toxicology report and the findings of the injuries. So let's just start here, since this one is pretty lengthy. So after 8 months, I just received this about 2 weeks ago. Stating the obvious as far as toxicology report. The man was celebrating his 40th birthday. So yes, he was intoxicated. Yes, he was intoxicated. No, he was not behind the wheel of anybody's vehicle. Now, the night he was killed, the evening that he was killed, I was told that there was no need for me to come on up that way because everything is over with and there's nothing that could be done. So do you really think that I'm not going to come on up there and see what really happened to my husband? You really thought that? You really thought that? Law enforcement said that when he went to go notify the mom, since they were that close to her house, that after talking to her, she informed them that he had one child. She never mentioned a spouse. This come from law enforcement now. This come from law enforcement. Okay. Because of where it happened at, it became park ranger jurisdiction. Because he was hit on the side of the road on the Natchez Trace. He was put out on the side of the road on the Natchez Trace. Some say he was put out. Some say he wanted to get out the vehicle. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I can't verify either way. I was told that by his brother, he was in the vehicle once again with his mom and his brother. I was told by his brother the next time I talked to his brother that a little pushing and shoving took place. Basically a fight. But either way it goes, he was left on the side of the road, heavily intoxicated. He was left on the side of the road. You got out the vehicle or was put out the vehicle, heavily intoxicated. December 23rd, in the cold, in the dark. Okay? Y'all keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, park rangers, y'all are in charge of the investigation. I spoke with the park rangers. I had my first meeting with them a week and 2 days after my husband's death. A whole week and 2 days went by before these people met with me. As the young people say, I have receipts. I kept everything in my phone. He kept texting me, the park ranger, Officer Branch is his name, kept texting me days before the actual meeting. Hey, can we meet today? Sure. I get another text back. I'm sorry, I can't meet that particular day. Can we meet such and such a day? Okay. Sure. I get another text. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Something, came up. I can't meet that particular day. Can we meet this particular day? Hey, listen. At this point, you aggravating me. And this is what I text him. You aggravating me. Stop postponing our meet and greet. Let's go on and meet and get this over with. So, when we finally did meet, You handed over his belongings, which all I got was his pants, belt, socks, shoes, which looked like they had been shredded, literally shredded, his wallet, and his shades that had been shredded. I was told that they couldn't find his phone or keys. The next day after my husband was ran over and killed, the very next morning, I went to where he was killed. That's where I found his watch bands, which were still within the perimeter of where they spray painted around his body. His watch bands was right there. His hair, a patch of his hair was right there. His phone lying over in the grass, which they said they couldn't find, and it was in clear, plain view. His wedding ring, he was hit so hard it knocked his wedding ring completely to the other side of the road. According to your report, sir, you collected all evidence. All evidence. You photographed the scene. You collected all evidence. What evidence did you get? Unless they were things pertaining to her, which she's a white lady. She's a white lady. So what evidence did you get? Because if I was able to go the next morning and pick up his hair, his watch bands, his ring, his phone case, which y'all told me y'all had, y'all did not. What evidence did you get? There were even pieces of this lady's car still lying there. Everything just lying out in the middle of the road. 5 days later, my mom and I go back to the same spot. And my daughter goes to the stop sign and picks up the other piece of his phone case. What evidence did you get, sir? I even then, 5 days later, when we went back, I even picked up pieces of the lady's car that was still lying out there. Certain pieces, which I have right now. So what evidence did you get? Okay, so when I met y'all a week and 2 days after this happened, as of that day, y'all still had not interviewed her. Y'all told me I was the first one y'all wanted to talk to. Why? I wasn't a driver. I didn't run over and kill nobody's husband, somebody's father. Why would I be the first one? I'm just the wife that just lost a husband. Why wouldn't she be the first one y'all want to interview? Or his mama and his brother, who he was with. Why wouldn't they be the first ones y'all wanted to interview? So you mean to tell me a week and 2 days now went by and y'all still have not interviewed this lady? You mean to tell me a week and 2 days now went by and y'all still have not had a crime scene reconstructionist come down to reconstruct the crime scene? I guess my husband just wasn't a priority. He was a young black man in Mississippi, French Camp, Mississippi. 8 months have gone by. 8. And when I say not one phone call from the park ranger, not one. As of to this day, not one. Still not a phone call. I was told that they were going to have to subpoena for her phone record, have her car analyzed to see how fast she was going. 3 months go by, 3 more months go by when I meet y'all again, the park rangers again, which was null and voided. But 3 months go by. Now your story has changed when I asked, hey, what was the findings? Did y'all subpoena her phone records to see if she was on the phone? Did y'all analyze the car to see how fast she was going? Now I'm being told, oh, that's going to be kind of hard to do. Mind y'all, she wasn't even given a breathalyzer. They did not breathalyze her. This is a fatality. This man, according to your report, Coroner, is lying in the middle of the road in a supine position, broken up, body shredded. And y'all didn't give her a breathalyzer? According to your report, Park Ranger, according to your report, the driver was gone when you got there. The driver was not on the scene when you got there. So you mean to tell me that if this case belongs to the park rangers, of course Choctaw County deputies were the first responders, but they don't have jurisdiction over this case. How did they authorize her to leave the scene before the person or people responsible for the case even get there? How did they have jurisdiction to authorize her to leave the scene before you got there to do your job? How? Why wouldn't you all give her a breathalyzer? She didn't hit a deer. She didn't hit a dog. She didn't hit a tree. She didn't hit another vehicle. She hit a whole human being and killed him. My husband didn't have a fighting chance. He was hit just that hard, according to your report. It was maybe, as y'all say, a 10-second death. So in 8 months, you all have not picked up the phone and called me to tell me where you are in this investigation. I have called Officer Branch. I have texted Officer Branch. Time on top of time on top of time on top of time. No response. No response. Not one. So finally I text you and say, hey, I've been texting you. I've been calling you. I've been requesting your supervisor's name and contact information. Since you don't want to answer my questions, since you don't want to give me updates, give me your supervisor's name and number. I've been asking you for that. So finally I said, hey, in a text, I feel like at this point you all are covering up something. At this point it's obvious. I don't know who this lady is, who her parents is, what type of leverage she has over law enforcement. I don't know and don't care. She took a life. And at this point, there's nothing that y'all can say to me to make me believe it was accidental. It was not. Either she was drunk, she was speeding, she was distracted, or she just simply seen a Negro in the middle of the road and she felt threatened. Maybe that's what it was. Who knows? Because see, at this point, y'all leaving me to play Inspector Gadget on my own and try to figure this thing out, and which I'm going to do. Because if you think I'm gonna lie down like everybody else has, well, which nobody was even standing up for him anyway, but me. Literally. When you don't even come to your own child's funeral or your own brother's funeral, that speaks volumes. Not about how you feel about me, but simply how you felt about him. And because I'm the only one fighting for justice, it doesn't surprise me. According to this report, which her name is printed on here. All of her other information is blurred out. That's what these little black spots are. They're blurred out. Even the officer's name is blurred out. Why? 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 They say she works somewhere here in Kosciuszko. She's only right up the road in French Camp, where McCool, wherever she at up there. She's not hard to find. So stop covering up for her. Stop trying to hide her. Because if I really wanted to see her face to face, I could. She's not my priority right now. She's my priority when it comes to getting justice. And I'm going to get it. But right now, I'm going to deal with law enforcement. Because if this is what y'all trying to... Nah, this is not suffice. This is not suffice. Part of your report says he was struck at 45 miles per hour. Another part of your report says he was struck at 55 miles per hour. Which one was it? Which one was it? You say he was struck and hit so hard his head went through the windshield. The car traveled a few more feet before his body hit the ground. The dirt on her car is where his body outlined it. According to the man from the funeral home that had to go and retrieve his body, my husband's body was torn up. The MBI is my next step. It's my next step. It's my next step. According to this man at the funeral home, the day of his visitation, he was talking to my mama, not realizing that I was the wife. He was describing to my mama how bad my husband's body was when he went to go get it. According to one of the funeral home employees that actually worked on my husband's body, I went to go visit him about a week after the funeral and said, hey, listen, I'm asking this question because I just simply want to know. You don't have to withhold anything from me. First of all, thank you for the amazing job you did on getting his body together, because you did a hella good job. But I got to ask you about my husband's injuries, because nothing about this case, nothing about this, him being struck and killed, nothing about this is making sense. Can you tell me? He said, well, Michelle, since you want to know, since you asked, I'm going to tell you. Your husband's body was extremely damaged. He was pretty bad. When I went to go do his hair, when I went to the funeral home to go do his hair, I noticed the left leg was leaning over. So I stopped doing his hair for a minute to go see why. I went and I lifted up the sheet and I seen why. The left side of his face was really, really swollen. Because your eye had been knocked out. So I proceeded on to finish braiding his hair. You had a big gash in the back of your head. I went on and did what I had to do for my husband. Went on and did what I had to do. But nothing about this is making sense. I was given a number to a lawyer in Jackson. I called him. Gave him a brief description of what was going on. He said, "Oh yeah, I think you got a case. You got a case. Get information together and bring it to my office tomorrow." I did. I spoke with his paralegal. Gave him all the information that the attorney had asked for. The very next day, I get a call, and he says, "Hey, this is such and such, calling from such and such office." He and I got together when he got back into the office, and we kind of went back and forth about the case. We both had strong views about it, and because he's my boss, I can't go over his head. So we're just letting you know we decided we can't do nothing with it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I contacted a individual right here in Kosciuszko, not an attorney, but a well-known individual, white man. I'm gonna say that. I said, "Hey, he's supposed to be such a good friend to my family." And I said, "Hey, this is where I'm at with this. Is it anything you can find out for me? Anything you can do to help me?" Yeah. Of course, Michelle. Of course I'll help you. As a matter of fact, the evening that happened, I was celebrating, I think he said his birthday, when I got the call. I'm thinking, why would you get the call? I'm like, okay. I'm saying to myself, okay. I'm still trying to figure out why would Choctaw County contact and call you? Okay. So that was on a Monday. So he said, "Well, listen, give me until after lunch to get back with you with the information that you need. Names, phone numbers you need to contact." Monday come and go. Tuesday come and go. Wednesday come and go. Thursday. I reach out. I said, hey, I didn't hear anything back from you Monday. What happened? Oh, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for a phone call, but I hadn't forgot about you. That's been 3 weeks ago. Officer Branch has a new supervisor. I reach out to him and say, hey, I'm giving you a call because I've been trying to contact Officer Branch concerning my husband's case. He is neglecting to answer the phone. He's not calling back. He's not responding to text messages. None of that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm the new supervisor. I said, but why would he give me your name and number instead of the supervisor that was his supervisor when this happened, that has knowledge about this case? Oh, well, I'm the new supervisor. I said, okay, new supervisor. All right, so let's get it. This is where we at. Okay, well, I'm new to the case. I don't know much about it. Give me this week, to look at everything and, call you back and set up a date and time where we can meet and I can lay everything out for you and I can explain to you this, that, and the third. Give me about a week. It's been a month. It's been a month. Have not heard from supervisor. How I found out that they had no intentions on charging her is through her State Farm insurance representative. And he let it slip. Hey, listen, I'm just giving you a call, to see, or to let you know this is where we at. This is the procedure and protocols we have to follow, for a payout during over a fatality. This we got to go before the judge. I got to run an ad in the paper for 3 weeks to make sure there's nobody else out there that can stake claim to this. But yeah, so $25,000 for a fatality. Well, yeah, that's because of the kind of insurance she has, and it has to be split. $25,000 has to be split between myself, his daughter, and another individual. So $8,000. Y'all trying to give me $8,000 for my husband's life? Y'all trying to give his daughter $8,000 for her father's life? I said, well, listen, I'm trying to wrap this conversation up because I have other phone calls to make. I have other things to do. And I'm just trying to get this done and over with, Oh, well, according to the report that I got, it was just such a tragic accident. She was hysterical, and just according to what I've been looking at, I don't think they're gonna charge her. I said, huh? Oh, I think I may have said too much. No, you said enough. You said enough. So I had to find out through her State Farm representative, through her car insurance representative, that no charges are going to be filed against her. Oh, now I see why I'm not getting no responses, phone calls to my text messages. Now I see in 8 months why nobody has reached out. Not nobody from law enforcement. I have not seen body cam footage. I have not received a report from first responders. Nobody. So many discrepancies in your report, sir. So so many discrepancies in your report. Nothing about this report makes sense. Nothing about this makes sense. Nothing. And I'm supposed to believe this? I'm really supposed to believe this? No. No. I'm choosing these measures simply because my story got to be told. It got to be heard. And justice has to be done. In one way or the other. Justice has to be done. You're not finna run over and kill a husband, a father, a provider, cause turmoil in the lives of his wife, his child, stepchildren, and think that I'm supposed to lie down and take what y'all are saying and be okay with it. In 8 months, I have not had a full night's sleep. 8 months. I have not lied down and slept peacefully. Not one night. Y'all don't understand. Losing somebody is one thing. But having somebody killed while you get no answers. No answers. While you get no justice. No sleep. No nothing. I have absolutely been given nothing but this ratchet ass police report, which is full of lies. Everything on here is a lie. Now, where it has on here, on his part, if alcohol was involved, they checked yes. On her part, they checked no. But how can you check no on her part when you didn't even breathalyze? And I guess I'll never know. The world may never know if she had been drinking. Because y'all sent her on her way and let her go on to continue to live her life with her family without even breathalyzing her while he lie dead in the middle of the road. Then you had Sonny's record service way from Durant to come way to Choctaw County, way to French Camp to tow a car. There are no tow trucks in Choctaw County, French Camp area, McCool, where? It's some here in Kosciuszko, which is closer to French Camp than Durant. Where is her car? What findings did y'all actually find when y'all towed her car? Because according to my husband's body, he wasn't just struck, hit the hood of her vehicle, head went through the windshield, and body hit the ground. According to the funeral home people, he sustained way more damage than that. According to me looking at his socks and shoes. His socks and shoes told it all. According to this police report, when you photographed everything, when you photographed the scene, you photographed his pants 85 yards away from him. 85 yards is roughly the length of a football field. So you mean to tell me that she say he had on dark color clothes? But then according to your report, he didn't have any pants on when you photographed the scene? So which one is it? He had on dark colored clothes. He didn't have pants on. Why wouldn't he have pants on in the middle of December? Unless she hit him so hard she knocked him out of his pants. She hit him so hard she knocked my husband out of his pants. Yeah, I know for a fact she hit him so hard she knocked his wedding ring 40, 50 yards across the road onto another side road, which is where I found his wedding ring. Nothing about this report, Officer Branch, makes any sense. Nothing. Nothing about your report, Coroner Coleman, makes any sense. Nothing. I have been asking for your report, Mr. Coleman, since it happened. Then all of a sudden, now I gotta write a statement, have it notarized, and sent in to you before I could get it. This is what I'm left with, y'all. And to try to figure this thing out. I'm trying to figure out why the attorneys that were so quick to tell me I had a case called me back the next day just to say that they couldn't take it. Trying to figure out why the person that I reached out to here went ghost. Trying to figure out why Officer Branch, your new supervisor, told me to give him a week to look at the case and see what happened, and he'll call me back and schedule a date and time for us to meet. I haven't heard from him, and that's been a month ago. Who is Michelle Bates? Because whoever Michelle Bates is, she must have a lot of power and a lot of pull to have law enforcement not reaching out to the victim's spouse, not keeping me up and updated on what's going on with the case. I know she's a white lady. I know Michelle Bates is a white lady. So yeah. This is what I fight for every day. Sunday through Sunday. This is what I'm struggling with every single day. Of course, I got to put on my face when I go out. But who and what y'all see when I'm out, that's not my reality. That's not my reality. This has taken me to such a dark, dark place. I'm in such a dark space in my life right now. All I want is answers. That's all I want is answers. And justice, of course. I want justice. Is it going to bring him back? I know that. I know that. But will I feel better knowing that he just didn't die in vain, as if his life didn't matter? It may not have mattered to most, but it did to me and his daughter If it didn't matter to nobody else, his life mattered to me and his daughter. I'm doing this live because somebody needed to hear this story. It could be me today, and it can be somebody else tomorrow. Somebody needed to hear this. Somebody needed to know this. And also, I need my story to be heard so that I can get the answers that I need, so that my husband can get the justice he deserves. Why should I be the only one walking around with a broken family? I wouldn't wish this pain on nobody. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. But the lady that hit him and seemingly have gotten away with it, Again, people, pay attention. Pay attention to law enforcement. Pay attention to the bullshit that they try to give you. Pay attention. You better read. You better read. You better pay attention. They think they can just give you anything and send you on your way.